My beloved child, take a quiet moment now and rest in my presence, for I am here with you at all times, carefully watching over your steps and listening to the unspoken whispers of your heart. You are never alone, and I want you to sense my unwavering love flowing around you like a gentle stream, carrying your burdens far away and replacing them with peace. Feel the warmth of my compassion embracing your spirit, softly reminding you that every breath you take is precious in my sight, and every beat of your heart resonates with the promise of hope I have placed within you. I am the one who formed you and saw your delicate being even before you took your first breath, and I cherish every moment you draw near to me, seeking comfort in my words and guidance in my voice. Do not hesitate to share your deepest thoughts and longings with me, because I understand the yearnings of your soul better than anyone else, and I willingly stand beside you, ready to lift you up when you stumble and to hold you close when you feel lost. Remember, I am eternally near, banishing all loneliness and instilling within you a divine sense of purpose and belonging. Take courage, for I am fully aware of every challenge you face and every battle you fight in the shadows of doubt, and I assure you that my strength is greater than any storm that could ever threaten your peace. So come and rest, knowing that I will never abandon you, and I will guide your paths toward brighter days, away from fear and into the light of my ever-present love. Let this assurance sink into your heart, fueling your faith with unwavering resolve. Hold on tight to the hope I place before you, for truly I am your constant companion, and I will lead you forward with my mighty and compassionate hand. I call you my treasured creation, for I have fashioned you uniquely and placed within you a radiance that shines even when you feel unnoticed by the world. You are not an accident, nor are you an afterthought. Rather, you are the culmination of my love poured out with meticulous care, shaped to reflect my heart in ways no one else can. Do not doubt your worth, for I have called you by name and hold you closer than any earthly parent could, desiring for you to see yourself as the precious gem you truly are. Whenever you sense that your voice is drowned out by louder forces, whenever you feel that your gifts are shadowed by endless comparisons, remember that I see the spark in your soul that yearns to do good, and I take great delight in that desire. I celebrate your steps toward kindness, however small they may seem, because I perceive the depth of compassion within your being. I rejoice whenever you turn to me with your joys or sorrows, for it confirms and delights me that we share an unbreakable bond. Do not question whether I notice your tears, for every tear is known to me, held in my gentle hand, destined to be wiped away in my perfect timing. Trust that your presence in this world is a blessing not only to me, but to those around you, even if you cannot yet see the ripples of hope your life creates. Embrace your own journey without shame or fear, for I am the one who breathes new life into dry bones and who gives beauty for ashes. Take heart, my precious child, and move forward with the assurance that you are wholly loved and adored, shining like a bright star in my eternal sky. Look ahead with expectation, for I have planted seeds of promise in your life that will bloom in their season. I understand the weight you often carry, the silent burden that seems too heavy to name, and I want you to release it to me in quiet surrender. Do not fear your own limitations, because I have none, and I stand ready to lift you high above the tides of anxiety that threaten to pull you under. When you toss and turn at night, wondering if your future holds heartbreak or success, know that I am the custodian of your destiny, crafting outcomes beyond your most treasured dreams. Let your heart exhale the tension that knots your spirit, for I am here to bring calm where the storms of life rage without mercy. Life can be a winding path, filled with moments of joy interwoven with seasons of sorrow, and I see each twist and turn you encounter. When you lose your footing, reach out to me, and I will steady your steps as a faithful friend who never tires of offering a helping hand. I do not look upon your struggles with judgment or impatience. Instead, my heart aches with yours, longing to infuse you with strength and surround you with my grace. You may think no one notices when you press forward despite silent tears, but I am fully aware and deeply pleased by your enduring spirit. Take comfort, for I am the God who parted seas and sent manna from heaven, and I am the same today as I was then. Nothing in your life is too small for my attention or too large for my power, because my love for you is boundless. Lean into me, speak to me with honesty, and allow me to transform your doubts into testimonies of faith. Move boldly now, anticipating my answer to the unspoken cries of your soul, and believe that I write a greater story over your life than any struggle could ever erase. Do not underestimate the power of my touch upon your life, for I am the potter who shapes clay into a masterpiece, and you are the artwork of my hands. Even when you feel your edges are rough and unrefined, I see the finished product, gleaming in splendor under the light of my grace. Do not allow the opinions of others to overshadow my truth about you, because I have spoken life, freedom, and beauty into your existence. You need not strive for perfection in the eyes of the world, for my love has already crowned you with acceptance that surpasses any human measure. When you are tempted to compare yourself to those around you, pause and breathe in. My affirmation: you are beloved, you are chosen, you are cherished beyond comprehension. Does a shepherd abandon even one lamb lost among many? Neither do I abandon you in the crowd, no matter how unimportant you may feel. You hold a space in my heart that no one else can fill, and I treasure every genuine effort you make to serve and love others. Though the path may be winding, never doubt that your journey holds eternal significance in my grand design. Cling to my promise that I work all things together for good, and let that promise uplift your spirit when the world seems unsteady. I formed you with intricate care, and I see your full potential blossoming over time, just like a hidden seed that eventually bursts forth with vibrant life. Trust that my kindness is not limited, nor is my favor withheld, for I am the Father who provides, protects, and promotes you at the right moment. Step forward in confidence, for my hand rests upon your shoulder, and my heart is ever disposed toward your well-being. Seek my counsel daily, and find joy in the knowledge that I see greatness within you. I know the frustration that arises when your plans crumble or your efforts seem to yield little progress, and I want you to release that discouragement into my hands. Do not let bitterness take root in your soul, for it serves only to drain your hope. But instead remember the times I have already shown you my faithfulness. When the path ahead looks unclear, allow me to be your lamp, guiding each step one by one so that you do not stumble. My word remains a steadfast foundation, and if you hold on to it, you will discover that no storm can fully uproot you. There is no valley so deep that my presence cannot shine within it, and there is no mountain so high that my voice cannot reach you at the summit. I am the same loving God who heard the cries of Moses, led the steps of Ruth, and strengthened the heart of David in his weakest hour. Look to those stories of deliverance and favor, and realize that I am working similarly in your life. I do not play favorites, for my grace extends to every seeking heart and covers every anxious mind. When your spirit grows weary, come and rest in my arms. Let your trust in me surpass the limitations of your own understanding, for my wisdom exceeds all that you can grasp in this moment. Oftentimes, what appears to be a sudden detour is a divine redirection that leads you toward a place of greater growth. Do not cling to what is behind you, but instead welcome the new things I am bringing forth. Step ahead in hope, for my plans for you are purposeful and good. You will find that the more you lean into my guidance, the more peace you will carry, and the more strength you will possess to face any challenge. I see the battles that rage in your mind, the war between doubt and faith, between discouragement and perseverance, and I assure you that you are not fighting alone. I am the shield that stands between you and the fiery arrows of despair, the fortress you can run to when the darkness feels overwhelming. Even if others cannot perceive the struggle beneath your quiet exterior, I fully comprehend the depth of each conflict, and I have already prepared a way to lead you toward victory. Do not lose hope, for I supply the courage and fortitude you need at precisely the right moment. Sometimes, my beloved one, you look around and see how others seem to manage life's hardships with ease, and you might wonder why you stumble under the weight of your burdens. But I want to remind you that each soul has a path unique to their own journey, and I am shaping you through every storm. If you find yourself feeling isolated or misunderstood, come closer to me, and I will whisper reassurances to your heart that no one else could ever give. Allow me to strengthen your spirit and restore the dreams you feared were lost. Stand firm, for I am your unwavering companion, an anchor that grips the bedrock beneath the heaving waves. When you call out to me, even in a trembling voice, I respond with love, comfort, and unwavering assistance. Your tears are never wasted, for I gather each one, weaving them into a tapestry of refined character and deeper faith. Face each day knowing that you have my blessing, my power, and my unending devotion. Remember that no matter how great the storm, you are carried in my arms, shielded by my grace, and destined for my glorious purpose, which extends far beyond your present trials. Do not let the clamor of the world drown out my still small voice speaking softly to your heart, urging you to pause and remember who holds your future. I am the friend who walks beside you, the king who knows your name, and the creator who delights in every unique aspect of your being. While the world might chase after fleeting triumphs, I invite you to find rest in me, understanding that eternal significance outweighs any momentary applause. Stay close to my promises, and you will find that my words become a lamp illuminating the path through every trial. I rejoice when you persevere through difficulties, relying on my strength rather than your own, because such reliance invites you to experience my miracles firsthand. When life becomes a maze of confusion and you cannot see the exit, remember that my perspective transcends your own, like an eagle soaring far above the intricacies of the earth below. There is nothing hidden from my sight, and in your most perplexing dilemmas, I hold the map that leads you to safety and abundant blessing. Rest assured that even your missteps can become testimonies of grace once you surrender them into my care. Let go of the fear that cripples your hope, and instead welcome the peace that my spirit breathes into your soul. I designed your heart to flourish under my guidance, freed from the chains of striving for acceptance, because you are already accepted. When you place your trust in my hands, new avenues of possibility open before you, and the seemingly impossible becomes well within reach. Walk with your head held high, for my glory rests upon you, and I will transform your vulnerabilities into conduits of my power. Believe in the new horizons I have prepared, for there is nothing I cannot accomplish in your life. You may wonder why certain hardships come your way, why some doors remain closed despite your fervent prayers, or why a cherished dream stays just beyond your grasp. Yet, I urge you not to interpret my timing as neglect, or my silence as absence. My thoughts toward you are higher than the distant skies, and my plans for you shimmer with promise far surpassing your limited scope. When your heart aches for answers, draw near to me, and I will whisper the reassurance your soul craves, reminding you that I orchestrate every detail for a greater purpose. Consider how a seed is buried in darkness before it sprouts toward the sunlight, or how a pearl forms under layers of pressure within the oyster. I am crafting something beautiful within you, even when outward circumstances appear bleak. Trust that the waiting period, the uncertain in-between, is not a barren wasteland, but a hidden workshop of my grace, where I mold your character and refine your faith. Surrender your attempts at controlling every outcome, and watch how my hand rearranges the circumstances for your good. I do not delay without intention. I wait to unveil blessings at their most fruitful time. Look beyond your immediate disappointments and embrace the hope I extend, for I waste no struggle and overlook no tear. I often use the most challenging moments to birth the greatest testimonies. Stand still and know that I am God, ever strong, ever wise, and ever caring for your every need. Allow my presence to envelop you like a gentle cloak, guarding you from the chill of doubt. Hold my promises close to your heart, letting them echo in your spirit like a steady drumbeat of faith, because I am the one who began a good work in you, and I will see it through to completion. I recognize that sometimes you feel overlooked or underappreciated, as though your contributions are too small to matter. But know this, even the tiniest seed of kindness, planted in faith, can grow into a magnificent tree of blessings in my kingdom. Your every thoughtful word, your every compassionate gesture, radiates with my love and serves as a beacon of hope for those around you. Refrain from belittling the good you do, for I, the Lord of all, celebrate each loving act you perform in my name. When fatigue settles into your bones and you ponder whether your efforts are in vain, remember that I am your strength when you feel feeble, and I am your courage when you feel afraid. You need not strive to impress me through grand accomplishments or flawless performance, for I search the intentions of your heart. What pleases me most is the humility and sincerity with which you serve. Even in your weaknesses, I see a willingness to rise again and trust me for guidance, and that fills my heart with joy. Therefore, continue to be faithful in the little things, knowing that no moment of dedication escapes my notice. I see every quiet prayer you offer on behalf of a friend, every hour spent comforting the hurting, and every sacrificial choice you make to reflect my goodness. Through these seemingly small actions, I am shaping you into a vessel capable of carrying greater responsibility and larger blessings. Do not lose sight of the ripple effect that your life has in the spiritual realm. You are an instrument of my peace, and as you grow in kindness and love, your influence will reach farther than you could ever imagine. Hold this truth close, for in my eyes, nothing done in love is ever too small. In the moments when you feel unworthy to approach me, recalling the flaws and mistakes that weigh heavily on your conscience, I urge you to come even closer. My mercy extends far beyond your greatest failures, and my grace covers your deepest regrets. I am the God who embraces the prodigal child, who restores broken lives and who mends shattered hopes. Do not allow shame or guilt to separate you from my love, for I have already paid the price for your restoration. Let the knowledge of my forgiveness wash over you like a cleansing river, carrying away every burden. I do not define you by your past, for my eyes are fixed on the person I created you to be. You might feel disqualified or tarnished, but I see the potential for redemption and transformation shining within your spirit. Through every stumble, I extend my hand to lift you up, and I rejoice each time you take hold of it. Turn to me not out of fear or compulsion, but out of a genuine desire to be made whole, for my longing is to breathe new life into your weary soul. In my presence, condemnation falls away, and only love remains. Whenever the voice of accusation tries to convince you that you are beyond saving, remember the cross, where my ultimate act of love sealed your freedom. I do not delight in punishing you, Rather, I yearn to see you walk in abundant life, free from the chains of the past. Let your heart be open to my healing touch, for I long to restore everything that has been broken. Where you see only scars, I see triumph over adversity. Where you see defeat, I see opportunities for resurrection. Step into this realm of grace, for I offer renewal at every turn. Sometimes you may suspect that your prayers are bouncing off the ceiling, unheard and unanswered, as if I have turned my face away. Yet I want you to grasp the depth of my listening ear. I hear you long before you even utter a word, and I respond in ways both visible and hidden. Trust that my silence in certain seasons is not negligence, but an invitation for you to dig deeper into faith. Like a gardener who plants seeds in the dark soil and waits for them to sprout, I encourage you to keep sowing your prayers, for in due season they will bloom. When you grow weary from waiting, remember the story of Hannah, who wept bitterly for a child, and in time, I answered her plea with a son who changed the course of history. When you are tempted to give up, think of Elijah, who prayed earnestly for rain during a drought, and I answered him with a torrential downpour. These are not distant tales meant for others. They are reminders that I am still the God who moves heaven and earth to fulfill my promises. Believe that I see every tear and gather every whispered hope in my hands. Even when you lack the words to express the longing in your heart, my spirit intercedes on your behalf with groanings too deep for human language. Lean into that reality and allow the assurance of my constant attention to bring rest to your anxious thoughts. Your voice matters to me, whether it is full of praise or trembling with sorrow. Keep calling upon my name, for I delight in hearing your petitions and working wonders in your life. Though my answers may arrive in unexpected forms, they are always timed perfectly to align with my purpose and your ultimate good. I want you to realize that my arms are never too short to save, and my heart is never too closed to welcome you. When the responsibilities of daily life press upon you like a weight too heavy to bear, remember that I offer you rest. Not the kind of rest that simply numbs the mind or distracts you from reality, but a deep, soul-refreshing calm that rejuvenates your innermost being. Take my hand, pause from your frantic pace, and discover what it means to find genuine tranquility in my embrace. I designed you to flourish, not to live in perpetual exhaustion. Set aside the notion that you must do everything by your own strength, for even eagles must rest their wings, and mighty trees need seasons of dormancy to gather renewed life. If your schedule crowds out time with me, your spirit will thirst for nourishment like a parched desert longs for rain. Do not underestimate the power of quiet communion with your Maker, for it unlocks reservoirs of grace and clarity that cannot be accessed through mere busyness. In that sacred space of fellowship, I speak words of life, directions for your next steps, and reassurances that all is held in my capable hands. Let your soul breathe in my presence, and let the burdens you carry slip away under the soothing balm of my peace. You are not meant to run this race alone or with an empty tank. Rather, I have made provision for your every need, from physical sustenance to spiritual encouragement. As you rest in me, you will discover deeper wells of courage to face tomorrow, unshaken by the uncertainties that lurk ahead. Release your anxious striving, allow me to take the driver's seat, and watch as I lead you beside still waters, restoring your soul and renewing your hope. Look up at the stars on a clear night and consider how I placed each one in the sky, naming them and sustaining them by my power. Yet my care for you surpasses even the vastness of those celestial wonders. I have imprinted my love upon your heart, carving an eternal reminder of my faithfulness that no trial can erase. There are moments when you forget who I am, and in those instances I call you to reflect on the countless times of my provision throughout your life. Even when circumstances seemed bleak, I never failed to uphold you, and I never will. My beloved, I never intended for you to walk this journey in isolation, for I have woven you into a tapestry of relationships where my light can shine through shared connections. When you feel alone, open your eyes to the kind souls I bring alongside you, friends and companions who reflect my love in tangible ways. Accept their helping hands, let your burdens be shared, knowing that mutual support is part of my design. In community, you experience an echo of my own triune nature, a fellowship that strengthens your faith and counters the lie that you stand alone. Rest assured, I do not turn my gaze from your desperate needs, nor close my ears to your silent cries. Like a shepherd who tenderly gathers lambs, I scoop you into my arms when the wolves of fear and doubt encircle you. When you call out to me, I respond not with condemnation, but with open-hearted compassion. Open yourself to the comfort I provide through prayer, scripture, and the loving presence of those who walk with you. Keep in mind that your life is precious, your purpose is real, and my care for you is unfailing, as constant as the rhythm of your heartbeat. I am your refuge, your place of safety when life's storms roar and threaten your peace. Do not underestimate my capacity to shield you from the relentless winds of adversity, for I am stronger than the fiercest tempest and more steadfast than the tallest fortress. When panic urges you to run in every direction, come to me instead, anchoring yourself in the shelter of my presence. In my arms, you can exhale the fear that clouds your mind, exchanging it for the hope that blossoms when you trust my promises. I see how the chaos of this world can unsettle your spirit, with unsettling news and endless demands consuming your thoughts. Yet, even in the turbulence, my voice remains a beacon of calm, drawing you away from the noise and into the stillness where my truth resonates. Let each breath remind you that I am closer than the air around you, providing a steady foundation under your feet. I will never abandon you to face the storms alone, for I delight in protecting you, my cherished child. When it seems like every door slams shut before you, remember that I hold the master key, and I can open pathways you never realized existed. At times, what appears to be a dead end is simply my invitation for you to pause and watch me work a miracle on your behalf. Keep faith alive, for I am adept at turning obstacles into stepping stones. Lean on me, whisper my name, and let my reassurance flood your mind. I am your God, your refuge, and your shield, now and forever. No wave is too high, no valley too deep, for my presence envelops you like an unbreakable wall of divine love. Take heart when you face trials, for these moments are more than random misfortunes. They are opportunities to see my hand moving in ways that defy human logic. I empower you to walk upon the waves, just as I called Peter out of the boat, not so you would sink, but so you would learn to fix your gaze upon me. When doubts swirl around you, remember that I am the God who forms rainbows from storms and calls beauty out of ashes. There is no predicament too tangled for my wisdom, and no sorrow too deep for my comfort. Let your faith rise like a seed pushing through the dark soil, certain that sunlight awaits above the surface. You might not see the immediate result, but transformation is underway, nurtured by my spirit. I do not waste a single challenge in your life. Each one refines your character, draws you closer to my heart, and reveals the resilience I have placed within you. Instead of dreading the hard seasons, lean into me. When you anchor your confidence in my unfailing goodness, each test becomes an altar where my power is revealed. Never forget that I am bigger than your most daunting mountain, and I stand ready to guide you over and beyond every summit. Do not fear steep cliffs or jagged edges, for my grace provides a foothold at each step. As you advance, remember to share your breakthroughs with others, encouraging them to trust my ways. In your perseverance, my glory shines forth, demonstrating to the world that nothing can separate you from my unwavering love. Stand firm, my child, and know that every valley you traverse will eventually lead to a hillside of abundant blessings. I understand the moments when you feel the future looming with uncertainty, and your heart trembles at the thought of what may come. Yet I urge you, do not let worry become the soundtrack of your life. Instead, hand over each anxious thought to me, and watch as I transform apprehension into courage. You cannot see every turn of the road ahead, but I have already mapped it with precision. Remember the words of promise I have spoken. I will never leave you nor forsake you, and allow that truth to settle like a comforting blanket over your weary mind. When discouragement whispers that you've reached the end of your strength, recall how the widow's small jar of oil never ran dry once she entrusted it to divine provision. I am the same God who fed the multitude with just a few loaves and fish. Offer me the fragments of your hopes, and I will multiply them beyond measure. Take comfort in knowing that I specialize in bringing forth abundance from lack, whether it's a lack of resources, confidence, or clarity. Each time you doubt my capacity, reflect on the countless testimonies of my faithfulness and let them renew your resolve to press on. Breathe in my presence when the world feels suffocating, and let your spirit be revived by the realization that I stand guard over you, shielding you from unseen dangers. I do not promise a life free from challenges, but I do promise that my grace will be sufficient in every circumstance. Look to me as the one who transforms your tears into stepping stones, forging a path that leads not to despair, but to deeper trust. Embrace the truth that though you may feel weak, you are never powerless with my strength upholding you. Step forward, confident in my unwavering care, for I hold your tomorrow firmly in my hands. I witness the silent questions that linger in your mind, questions of identity, purpose, and whether you truly matter in a world that seems to rush by without pausing to take notice. Allow me to clarify this in your heart. You are not a bystander in my kingdom. I formed you with deliberate intention, weaving your gifts and personality together to create a tapestry unlike any other. Your uniqueness is not an accident. It is a reflection of my infinite creativity. I yearn for you to awaken each day, knowing that I cherish you, not merely for what you do, but for who you are. Do not permit voices of unworthiness to echo unchallenged within your spirit. When negative thoughts attempt to tear you down, remember the significance of my word, which proclaims that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. My approval does not hinge on your performance. Rather, it is anchored in my boundless love. Let the knowledge of that love empower you to walk boldly, trying new endeavors, reaching new heights of faith, and extending grace to yourself when you stumble. For every slip or misstep, I stand ready to lift you back up, gently guiding you onto solid ground. At times, you might compare your life to others, feeling as though you lag behind or have less to offer. Resist that temptation, for I have charted a journey specifically tailored for you. Rejoice in another's success and cultivate gratitude for your own blessings, both seen and yet unseen. Open your heart to my perspective, which sees beyond the limitations of time and space. Recognize that I have placed you here and now for a reason, supplying all that you need to flourish. Grasp this truth. You are invaluable to me, and my plans for you are woven with threads of eternal purpose. I hear the prayers you offer in trembling hope, the ones that rise from the depths of your soul when you have no one else to confide in. Even if your voice quivers, I listen intently, because the sincere cry of your heart resonates with me more powerfully than any eloquent speech. When you bear your anxieties before me, I see a precious child who trusts my willingness to intervene. Know that each petition is like an offering set before my throne, a testament to your faith in my loving care. I collect your words, hold them close, and respond in the fullness of my wisdom. Sometimes you may wonder why I do not grant certain requests exactly as you imagine. Yet, I call you to trust in my knowledge, which far exceeds your understanding. I see pitfalls you cannot foresee, and I protect you by steering you away from certain outcomes. This doesn't mean I disregard your desires, but rather that I align them with a higher plan, ensuring that blessings arrive in their most fruitful season. There is nothing arbitrary about my timing. I orchestrate events with a perfection that may only become clear to you in retrospect. Until then, walk confidently, assured that my guidance never fails. I encourage you to keep drawing near, lifting your praises, your fears, and your heartfelt requests. Communication with me is not about ritual, but about relationship, one anchored in my unchanging nature. Let my Holy Spirit be your counselor, illuminating truths you might overlook, and comforting you when sorrows weigh heavy. So persist, my beloved, in pouring out your heart, for I delight in hearing from you. You will find, as you continually come to me, that your faith matures and your soul gains rest in the knowledge that you are profoundly loved and listened to, always. I remind you that life is not a random series of events, but a tapestry I weave with purposeful threads. Even the moments that seem chaotic or senseless are not unknown to me. I see the entire pattern, from beginning to end, while you often glimpse only a single thread. Resist the urge to conclude that your story is without meaning. Instead, trust that every weave in the fabric of your life has significance. I tie together your experiences, your joys, and your heartaches to form a narrative that highlights my unwavering grace. When you face choices, both big and small, know that I stand ready to impart wisdom that aligns with the grand design I have for you. You need only seek me with an open heart, and I will nudge you toward the path that leads to true fulfillment. My counsel does not arrive with confusion or terror, but rather as a steady assurance, a calm certainty guiding you even when the surroundings seem dark. Let me be the compass for your decisions, reminding you that I have equipped you with discernment and a listening ear for my voice. In the hush of prayer or the unexpected advice of a friend, I speak, confirming what you sense in your spirit. Do not dismiss the gentle tug that directs you away from harm or the sudden clarity that illuminates a difficult problem. These are the ways I whisper my care into the fibers of your being. Embrace this guidance, for it is my gift to you, a roadmap crafted by the one who knows your potential more intimately than you know yourself. Walk forward in this knowledge, trusting that I orchestrate each thread to produce a masterpiece of divine love. I am aware of your desire for certainty, for a concrete blueprint that guarantees a smooth road ahead. Yet, I invite you to embark on a journey of faith, which often involves stepping beyond the bounds of your comfort zone. In the unknown, I reveal my power, and in your doubts, I demonstrate my trustworthiness. Recall Abraham, who left behind all that was familiar, not knowing where I would lead him, yet discovering that every step into the unknown was met by my unwavering provision. When frustration creeps in because you cannot control outcomes, find solace in my sovereignty. I am the one who charts the constellations and measures oceans in the hollow of my hand. Rest in the assurance that no detail of your life escapes my notice. Rather than wrestling with circumstances you cannot change, harness your energy toward abiding in my presence. I will instruct you in the way you should go, calming your restless thoughts and replacing them with a steady confidence. Each day presents an opportunity to deepen your reliance on me. Will you hand over your plans, your ambitions, and your anxieties, entrusting them to my perfect will? Let each act of surrender become a declaration of your trust. Observe how worry transforms into peace when you remember you are not the ultimate architect. Rather, I am. Embrace the freedom that emerges when you lay your burdens at my feet. By doing so, you open the door for blessings to flow in unexpected ways, revealing that my paths, though mysterious, are always faithful. I pour out my spirit upon you, equipping you with gifts that reflect my character in a world longing for hope. Do not underestimate the influence you carry when you operate under my anointing. Your everyday conversations, your simple gestures of kindness, and even your private prayers can impact lives in ways you may never fully comprehend. I designed you to be a vessel through which my compassion, wisdom, and love can flow, reaching hearts bruised by despair and minds clouded by confusion. When you are tempted to hide your light, perhaps due to fear or self-doubt, remember that I am with you. My presence infuses you with courage to stand firm, even when opposition arises. Let me remind you of the countless heroes of faith who faced lions, giants, and fiery furnaces, emerging victorious because they trusted in my sustaining power. Though the challenges you face might differ in appearance, the principle remains. When you lean on me, you are never outnumbered or overpowered. Embrace the subtle nudges I place within your heart. When you feel a prompting to speak a word of encouragement or to step forward in service, that is, my spirit at work. Follow that prompting and witness how I multiply your obedience to create ripple effects of blessing. Do not worry about being perfect or polished. I prefer authenticity over performance. Your willingness to shine, despite your imperfections, declares to the world that I can use any vessel surrendered in faith. Walk in confidence, my child, knowing that I delight in guiding you toward meaningful impact. I watch over you with an attentiveness far greater than what you have witnessed from any human caretaker. The sleepless nights you endure, the silent tears you shed, the questions that gnaw at your peace, I see them all. You do not labor in obscurity, nor suffer in isolation. My compassion goes beyond simple sympathy. It compels me to act on your behalf, preparing solutions to problems you haven't yet encountered and forging answers to prayers still unspoken. Even in what seems like divine silence, I am orchestrating events that align with your ultimate good. Lean into my limitless resources. When finances are tight, remember that I own the cattle on 1,000 hills, and I am able to provide for every need. When relationships fracture, recall that I specialize in reconciliation, mending hearts and restoring unity where division has lingered too long. Where your own efforts fail, my provision stands ready. I do not tire, nor do I run out of mercy or assistance. Turn to me with your petitions, trusting that I will fill every empty space with my abundant grace. Yet, my child, do not mistake my abundant supply for mere indulgence. I give out of love and wisdom, shaping you into a steward of the gifts I entrust to you. As you receive, remember to pour out compassion on others, for that is how my kingdom grows. When you pay forward the grace you have received, you embody the heart of the gospel, loving, forgiving, and serving as you have been loved, forgiven, and served. In doing so, you demonstrate the nature of my family, where every blessing is meant to be shared, not hoarded. Extend that grace and watch it return to you in countless new ways. I willingly remind you that each day brings fresh opportunities to draw closer to me. Think of your heart like a garden, needing consistent care and nourishment. When you invite me into your daily routines, your morning thoughts, your daily tasks, your evening reflections, our relationship grows, and you become more aligned with my peace. As you center your life on me, you cultivate a stability that remains unshaken by the world's changing tides. This doesn't make you impervious to pain, but it does anchor you in a hope that transcends circumstances. Do not be discouraged when growth seems slow or when old habits resurface. Like a gardener, I prune what hinders your flourishing, trimming away unfruitful branches so new life can emerge. Sometimes this process feels uncomfortable, but every loving correction paves the way for greater fruitfulness. Yield to my gentle hand, trusting that I see the potential hidden behind the clutter in your life. I do not prune you to harm you, but to shape you into a more radiant reflection of my love. As your faith matures, you will discover a deeper sense of awe and wonder in my presence. The mundane suddenly becomes a canvas for my glory, sunlight shimmering through leaves, a friend's laughter echoing my joy, the sweet hush of rest after a long day. By becoming more aware of my nearness, you transform ordinary moments into sacred encounters. This is the life I invite you into, one of continual fellowship with the one who formed your soul and longs for your unbroken companionship. Embrace this invitation and experience the fullness of joy that comes with living daily in my presence. I call you to be mindful of the thoughts that fill your mind, for as you dwell upon negativity or worry, you create barriers that limit my transforming work. Let me help you renew your mind, exchanging anxious meditations for the truth of my word. When you face discouragement, revisit the promises I have etched throughout Scripture and let them speak louder than your insecurities. Through this conscious realignment, you open the gates for my peace to flood your heart, surpassing all human understanding. Believe me when I say that what you feed your mind eventually shapes your outlook. The more you dwell on my faithfulness, the more hope you cultivate. The more you reflect on my power, the more courage you gather. If you find yourself overwhelmed by negativity, take that as a signal to refocus on the truths I have given you. Engage in prayer, not as a last resort, but as your first line of defense against despair. As you do, watch how worry recedes, replaced by a calmer awareness that I am sovereign, I am good, and I am steadfast. By nurturing this mindset, you fortify your spirit against the storms that will inevitably arise. You cannot prevent every difficulty in life, but you can determine how you respond. A mind grounded in my promises stands resilient against the fiercest winds, anchored in the reality that I remain the same yesterday, today, and forever. Guard your thoughts, hold on to my words, and rejoice in the freedom that comes from aligning your inner life with the vastness of my love. In this state of harmony, you will find the strength to press on, no matter what challenges emerge. I remember the moments you have praised me from the depths of gratitude, and I have also counted the times your soul lamented in anguish. Both are precious to me because they symbolize genuine connection. Praise is not merely a song or a shout, but an attitude of the heart that recognizes my goodness regardless of the season. When you choose to worship in times of trial, you proclaim a faith that does not depend on perfect circumstances, but stands firmly on my unchanging character. In times of joy, let your thanksgiving overflow like a river, for it is a testimony to others of my faithfulness. When others see you celebrate, they are reminded that I am indeed active and present. Let your life be an anthem that highlights the blessings I bestow, big or small, so that each day becomes an opportunity to declare my sustaining grace. This posture of gratitude wards off complacency, keeping your heart open to the ongoing wonders I pour into your life. When sorrow visits your doorstep, do not feel compelled to force a smile or conceal your pain from me. I welcome the honest cries of your soul, for they demonstrate vulnerability and trust. Even in lament, you honor me by turning toward me rather than away. Allow my comforting arms to hold you, letting tears become prayers in themselves, carrying your heartbreak straight into my tender presence. Know this: I understand sorrow deeper than any human can fathom, and I share in your grieving, providing solace that runs deeper than words. Through every season, praise or lament, remember that my love is the constant foundation under your feet. I have seen you wrestle with the question of whether your life truly bears significance. The pressures of modern society often weigh heavily, whispering that unless you achieve grand milestones, your worth is uncertain. But listen to my voice, which proclaims that your significance is found not in worldly accolades, but in my intimate knowledge of you. From the tiniest hair on your head to the most expansive dream in your soul, I am attuned to it all. Your day-to-day routines, which might appear mundane, are not overlooked by me. Each act of diligence, caring for a family member, showing kindness to a stranger, maintaining honesty in your work, radiates with spiritual impact. As you steward these responsibilities with integrity and love, you become an embodiment of my principles. Your faithfulness in the little things echoes mightily in the realm of heaven, and I treasure each moment you choose humility over pride, empathy over indifference, and generosity over greed. Do not allow the constant clamor for success to drown out my affirmation. While accolades have their place, it is the quiet consistency of your daily walk with me that truly shapes eternity. Hold your head high, knowing that I celebrate your progress, your perseverance, and your growth in godly character. You matter profoundly, and your every step aligns with a path I have laid out for you, illuminating the goodness of my kingdom in a world that sorely needs to see it. Let me remind you again and again, your life counts, your role is pivotal, and your journey is backed by my limitless love. I stand with you now, longing for you to embrace the fullness of the destiny I have prepared. Let no voice of defeat convince you that it's too late, that you have strayed too far, or that your mistakes disqualify you. My redemption transcends every shortfall, and I orchestrate comebacks from seemingly irreversible failures. The story of Moses, who once fled in disgrace yet later returned as a mighty leader, is but one example of how I transform shattered pasts into glorious new beginnings. Even if you carry regrets like heavy stones, place them into my hands, for I specialize in turning burdens into stepping stones. From the ashes of disappointment, I can forge beauty. Recall how I resurrected Lazarus when all hope seemed lost, demonstrating that my timing, though incomprehensible at times, is never too late. My power remains as vast as it was when I spoke the universe into being, so do not limit me by your finite perspective. Each day you awaken is another page in the story I am writing with you, a story that can still end in redemption and victory. Let this promise be etched upon your heart. I have not forgotten you. When you lament over missed opportunities, consider how I can restore the years the locusts have eaten, replenishing what was once taken. My grace extends into every nook and cranny of your life, and I breathe hope into spaces you considered irredeemable. Take courage, my beloved, for I am the author of second chances, and my pen is still in motion. I see your future, and it abounds with promise awaiting your trust. I invite you, even now, to spend moments in prayer where you release every knot of anxiety into my capable hands. Prayer is not a ritual to appease a distant deity. It is a dialogue between a caring father and a cherished child. Your words need not be ornate, for I value sincerity over grandeur. Whether you whisper your innermost fears or shout your heartfelt praises, I cherish the vulnerability. My ear inclines to every syllable uttered in faith, and my spirit hovers, ready to comfort, guide, and empower. Talk to me about your day, your struggles, your hopes, and your uncertainties. By articulating them before me, you open your heart to receive my perspective. Sometimes, in the midst of prayer, you will sense a new spark of creativity or a sudden solution you had never considered. Other times, an unexplainable calm will settle upon you, reminding you that I am present, soothing the storm inside your mind. When I seem silent, keep praying, for often I am working in ways that will only make sense with time. Trust that no genuine prayer is ever wasted. Each one rises like incense, a sweet aroma to my throne, mingling with the prayers of countless others seeking my intervention. In the tapestry of my kingdom, your words do not vanish. They interlace with the prayers of the saints, weaving a powerful testament of faith and hope. Let my spirit guide you into deeper intimacy, where prayer becomes as natural and essential as breathing. In that communion, you find the reassurance that not only am I God of all creation, but I am also your loving confidant and unwavering protector. I say to you today, take courage in your journey, no matter how daunting the path may appear. My grace exceeds any obstacle, and my mercies are renewed each morning like the dawn that chases away the night. When you feel the weight of unachieved goals or unresolved conflicts, remind yourself that I am the one who perfects what concerns you. Your times are in my hands, and every chapter of your life can be repurposed for my glory when surrendered to me. In the pursuit of your calling, do not neglect the quiet times that nourish your soul. Even I rested after creation, setting an example for you to pause, reflect, and refuel. Resist the notion that busyness equates to significance. Rather, wisdom grows in the pauses, where you listen for my direction and recalibrate your focus. Let my peace become your compass, pointing you toward endeavors that bear lasting fruit instead of fleeting success. When I slow your pace, it is not to punish you, but to fortify your foundation so that when you stand, you do so unshakably. As you press on, make room for joy. Let laughter be your companion, for a merry heart has its own healing power. Celebrate victories, no matter how small, as evidence that I am at work in every season. Each step of progress, each moment of resolve against temptation, and each act of kindness paves the way for greater blessings. Keep your eyes fixed upon the future I have designed, full of promise and hope. Embrace the truth that in my kingdom, nothing is wasted and everything surrendered to me is eventually turned into beauty. I remind you of the simple yet profound truth. I love you with an everlasting love, a love that is not swayed by circumstances or performance. Let this assurance flood your heart like living water, quenching every thirst for approval you may have sought in lesser things. In my eyes, you are more than the sum of your achievements or mistakes. You are my cherished child, woven into the fabric of my eternal plan, and this reality transforms every aspect of your life. Rest in the knowledge that my love carries you through the fiercest storms, standing guard against the voices that seek to diminish your worth. Let it shape your identity so profoundly that no external criticism or praise can shake your conviction of who you are. When doubt tries to creep in, lift your gaze to the cross, an unwavering testament of my commitment to you, paid in full by the sacrifice that broke every barrier between us. You have been called into fellowship with me, free to stand boldly in my presence without shame. From this wellspring of love, draw the courage to love others unconditionally, mirroring the compassion and patience I have extended to you. In doing so, you become an ambassador of my grace, reflecting hope to a world wearied by strife. As you receive my love, let it overflow into every interaction. Be patient where you might be inclined to judge, and offer kindness when you're tempted to turn away. By this, the world will see that you are rooted in something far greater than fleeting emotions. You are planted in a divine love that never fails. I bless you now with a fresh outpouring of my Spirit, that you may walk forward in boldness and peace. I declare my favor upon your family, your endeavors, and your innermost dreams. As you rise each day, may my grace sustain you, my truth guide you, and my joy be your strength. Release every worry into my hands, for I am fully able to carry what burdens you. Step into tomorrow with confidence, knowing that my plans for you are for good, to give you a future brimming with hope. Take these words to heart. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, unchanging in my devotion to you, unyielding in my commitment to see you thrive in purpose and love. Let your spirit be light, unencumbered by regret or shame, for my mercy has washed it all away. Embrace the promise that what lies ahead is not shaped by your failures, but by the potential I have placed within you and the power of my hand to bring it to pass. You are never alone, for I am always with you, enveloping you in my infinite love. Look forward with a steady gaze, for the best is yet to come. Let these truths sink into every corner of your being. You are cherished, you are forgiven, and you are chosen for a life that resonates with my glory. In times of doubt, remember my word. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Arise each morning in that unwavering assurance and walk forth with faith, for we journey together, and my love for you will never fade.